welcome to our circuit training for Pricer. I know that it's the end of circuit already, but most of you guys are still stuck at home, including myself. Okay, so let's get started for today's training. Pricer is a rather unique tool. It's not very well known. Okay, not many agents actually are able to make full use of this, but actually Pricer is very useful. You can use it for helping your client find the ideal price to price their property. You can help them, or you can use it to manage your client's expectation of price. And you can also use Pricer to qualify whether your client is worth your time or not. Okay, so let's get started on Pricer. First and foremost, quick disclaimer here. And very importantly, who should you know? Our account managers. Okay, so we have three ladies here, Celeste, Zuki, and Sherry. They are your account managers. Depending on which agency you are from, you should be looking for them accordingly. Okay, so you can look for them not just for signing up or renewing, but if you need any form of help, like which kind of tool should you be using, or maybe if you face any technical issues, you can also let them know. Okay, of course, sometimes they may be busy in an appointment, in a training, or it may be weekend. Okay, alternative number you can contact is our office hotline. Of course, this is only during office hours, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Okay, which is on the top left-hand corner of the screen. 62328688. So this is an alternative number that you can reach us at. Okay, of course, most ideal would still be to contact your account managers because they will know best. Okay. FYI screen is blocked. Let me just double check. Is there anyone facing the same issue as Alfred? Let me know, because I am not quite sure what chart is being blocked at the moment. Let me know if you can't see anything on the screen. Okay, Alfred, if you need the numbers and you can't see the screen, let your account managers know, or maybe you try and refresh your page and see whether it is working now. Okay, I'll try and refresh your page. It might work. Okay. Okay, next thing would be the promotion for the month of June. So some of you might be aware that there's no Great Singapore Sale this year, but we will still be running a promotion just for all of you, not just the training attendees, but all the agents. Okay, so we have a 15% off Pro Tools at the moment. If you look at it, so you get an additional month as well as a 15% discount. 2 years will be 2 months free. Okay, so this is applicable for even for those of you who are renewing when your account is expiring in the next 3 months. Okay, so Pro Tools is for you to access all the analytical tools, and Prop Points is for leads generation. So it is an add-on that you can opt to have. Main thing is for us to give you leads. Okay, it could be in the form of you putting up listings, and we'll do additional marketing to bring leads to your listing, or you can use the points for FSBO, for sale by owner, as well as featured inquiries, which is buyer and tenant leads. So if you want to know a little bit more about Pro Tools or Prop Points, do contact your specific or relevant account manager. Okay. Okay, also we would like to share with you guys a couple of new products that we have. One of it is called EdgeProp Plus. This one is not for sale to agents, rather it is actually a collaboration with the developers to feature some of the existing new show flats that are in the market right now, because all of us, we can't go to the show flat viewing anymore, or at least for now. So what you can do is make full use of the library of virtual tours that we have at the moment. We have more than 20 if you were to scan the first QR code. more than 20 of the current show flats available. Okay. The second one is a bit more interesting, the guided show flat virtual tours. So basically we work with the developer's representative or their appointed project ICs to actually bring you through the entire show flat. So not just the site plan or the show unit, not just the show unit, but including the site plan and the floor plans and some selling points that you might be able to pick up a tip or two from them. Okay, so I think now that we are all at home and some of you guys may not be so familiar when it comes to doing viewing online, so you might be able to learn something from this when you're doing your own Zoom with your client. How should you toggle within the virtual tour? What should you be showing them? Okay, so do check out both links. The second one would be for about, I think, 9 or 10 projects. Okay, and then we have EdgeProp's. Think of this as the property Netflix. Okay, the Netflix for property. So you can, if you actually go to our main website right now, edgeprop.sg, it is right on the header bar where you'll be able to see all the videos that are related to property belonging to agents. Okay, so some of you actually do videos of your listings. Some of you actually create videos on educational videos on property. You might want to join us here. So all you need to do is to scan the QR code to register with us, and you will be able to feature your videos with us as well. At the moment, there's no additional cost for this. So do submit your videos to us, and just to let you guys know that, of course, we will still do a bit of screening to ensure that the quality and the relevance of the video is there before we will put it up into EdgeProp's. Okay, so if you need a bit more details, there is a contact number at the bottom right, 945299197. You can reach us here as well if you like to know a little bit more about EdgeProp's. Okay, alternatively, you can also check with your account managers. Okay, so let's get started with today's training. Okay, I am going to toggle to the website now. Okay, and so this is EdgeProp.sg. The EdgeProp's that I mentioned is over here. So you can go to the main page either here, or you can check out the different categories or channels within EdgeProp's. Okay, now for today's training, we will be touching on Pricer. So what you need to do is to mouse over Tools and look for Pricer, which is under the header of Paid Tools. Okay, and we actually have a subheader called I have a seller. Okay, so we plugged it under I have a seller because in most cases, you would be helping your clients price their properties. Okay, so chances are you will be serving a seller. Of course, you can also use this tool when you are serving buyers as well. Okay, it's just how it's just the angle that you put across when you are serving your client. Okay, so I'm just gonna click on Pricer here. Just a heads up, some of you might be wondering if this particular tool can be found in the app. The answer is no. Okay, this is one of the tools that cannot be found in the app and can only be found via the website. Okay, so this can only be found via the website. Okay, so over here, what Pricer does, first and foremost, take note that you can use Pricer for all property types. Okay, all property types. Just that for different property types, you will have to key in slightly different information. Okay, so for example, if I want to do pricing for my client for a HDB, what I need to do is to key in the block name and the street name. Okay, so when I key it in, there will be a drop down. Okay, and you can see that it is added inside the system. Okay, so you can see that it's added in the system below. If you want to add in more than one, you can do so as well. Okay, and you can add it into the system as well. In total, the maximum number of buildings or projects that you can add is 10. Okay, 10. So let me move on to a condominium. Okay, so for condominium, instead of keying in the address, you should be putting in the project name. Okay, so for example, Rivergate. Let me zoom out a little bit. Oops. Yeah, example Rivergate, same thing. Key in, click on the drop down to add it into the system. If you want to add in more than one, you can just delete and put in another one. Okay, same thing, add to the drop down, and you can add in a second or third one. Okay, same thing up to 10. Okay, then we have landed. Landed is a bit more interesting. What you need to do is that you must know the project name or the estate name. Okay, so for example, you would be able to compare estates or project names like Park, View, or all that. Okay. However, you will not be able to compare different streets. Okay. This is because if you are looking usually for landed within a street, it is very rare that that particular street has a lot of transactions. So when one thing about Pricer, regardless which property type you are looking at, okay, it is very important that there must be sufficient transactions. If there isn't enough transactions, it would be very hard, or it wouldn't be as useful to use Pricer. Okay, so usually it should consist of at least a few streets. So usually for landed, you should either key in the estate name or the project name if it belongs to a project. So you can compare things like Serangoon Garden Estate, you can compare with Opera Estate. Okay, you can add it in, and you can compare it with, say, Franco Estate, something like that. Okay, so you can compare estates, and it will be more useful because there's a number of different streets within each estate. Same thing, you can compare up to 10. Okay, for commercial industrial, it really depends on whether it has a project name. Okay, so that means to say I can also compare things like retail, Lucky Plaza. Okay, I could do something like that if I have a project name. Okay, you won't be able to compare shop houses. Let me just try. Okay, so if I put in a street name, it wouldn't work. It has to be a project name. And then same thing for industrial as well. It has to be a project name. So maybe like Vertex, Oxley Biz Hub 1 and 2. Okay, but the street name wouldn't work. So just to let you guys know first. Now, I'm just going to go back to condo to use it as an example, okay, on how you can use Pricer. So let's say today I have a client, he is a seller, and he owns a unit in Coven Melody. Okay, so I add in Coven Melody, and I scroll down. Okay, so Coven Melody is added here, and you can see that I can actually generate a chart including the price, transaction price and asking, or separately. That means I only want the prices or I only want the asking. Okay, I can also set the time period all the way to all data. If it is all data, we would be looking at as early as 1995. That is where we get our transaction info from, which is URA. Okay. However, if you are helping your client price his property today, my recommendation usually is to look at the last 1 year. Okay, because if you're gonna go all the way back, it probably isn't gonna make much. It probably wouldn't be very relevant anymore because it is outdated in terms of the pricing. Okay, so usually my recommendation is last 1 year. If there are sufficient transactions, it would even be better if you could zoom down to a certain size range, story range, or stack. okay, that would really zoom down to that particular story, stack, or size, and the prices would be even more accurate. Okay, but if let's say you just want to see all the prices for that particular project, you can leave all these three blank, and let's click on refresh pricer. Okay, so over here you can see this is based on the last 1 year. Okay, I think I need to zoom out a bit. Okay, last 1 year. And you can, so over here at the bottom, you can see that there's a timeline from June 2019 all the way to now, which is on halfway of June. So we show you June, July as well. Okay, so within the whole year of 2019 to 2020 June, okay, the total number of transactions is 19. So you can see in the blue color box, there are 19 transactions, okay? And you can also see the price range, which is 965 to 1262 in terms of per square foot, okay? And the average price is looking at 1120. So if you look at the chart below, we actually break down the chart into three colors: red, orange, and green, which is pretty much like your traffic light. Okay, so you can see that the average is right in the center at 1120, and you also have your lowest to highest per square foot, which is 965 all the way to 1262. Okay, now the 19 transactions can be identified by looking at the blue color square dot. Okay, so all these blue color dots, when you mouse over it, you will be able to see when the transaction happened, what is the per square foot, the actual unit, okay, unit number, the size, and the price in quantum. Okay, so all of these individual transaction details can be identified when you mouse over. Okay, on the other hand, if you look at the red color dots, okay, red color circle dots, on the top we have the total information, which is total. We have 16 asking, that means 16 listings in EdgeProp now for Cover Melody. Okay, and this is the kind of PSF that they are asking, okay, which is 959 to 1327. Okay, and the average PSF is looking at 1164. Okay, 1164, somewhere in the center. Okay, so this is how you look at it. When you mouse over each of all these red color dots, you will be able to see, or should I say, you won't be able to see the unit number, obviously, but you will be able to see the per square foot, the size, as well as the days it is currently in the market. Okay, and you can actually click on each of all these dots. You can click on the dot to actually load the actual listing that is in EdgeProp right now. So I just clicked on the dot, and this listing here belongs to Lavon Lim, okay, from Orange Tea. So you can actually contact this agent if you have a client looking for this property. Okay, so how else can you make use of this? Now, if let's say, like I mentioned earlier, if let's say you are serving a seller, okay, so maybe your seller thinks that, oh, I want to sell my house at 1,005, okay, 1,005. Let's just assume that this seller's unit is a very average unit, okay, mid-floor, mid kind of facing, nothing extremely good or nothing extremely bad lah, huh? Okay, so he wants to sell at 1,005. Do you think it's possible? Okay, looking at it, not quite possible, because even the highest PSF so far is at 1262, right? You can see the highest transaction here, 1262 PSF. Okay, and this is for a 1,004 square feet unit. Okay, so let's say yours is just an average size unit, average everything. So chances are your pricing should be around the 1120 PSF. Okay, of course, if yours is a really good unit, a very good story, good facing, or maybe very well renovated, we can always increase the kind of per square foot that that property can command. Okay, so let's assuming it's average unit, 1,005 seems like a bit of a stretch. But what are you going to tell your client? Cannot lah, 1,005 cannot sell. Then they will tell you what? They will say, but you haven't tried. Okay, so what you should do is show them prices. So open up your laptop or your iPad, open up the browser and show them prices. Okay, and then what you need to do is tap on the chart itself. Let's say I tap on 1,005. Okay, of course it may not be very exact lah, huh? Okay, so at 1496 PSF, how what you can see here, when I tap on the chart, it creates this green line, and immediately you will know the position. Okay, that means this particular line that at this particular price that I added, in comparison to the transactions, in comparison to the asking, where does this particular price stand? Okay, so you can see the ranking out of 20. So here I have 19, so I add in one more price, right? So out of 20, I am ranked number 0, okay, and I am 33.6% above the average price of 1120. Okay, even if I compare with asking, so 16 plus 1, right, this price I add in as 1, okay, I am also 28.5% above the asking price. So when you do this, you are benchmarking your client's price against the transaction and the asking. Okay, and that would allow them to know where they stand. Okay, so if I'm way above average price, way above asking price, chances are it would be easier to convince them that, look, I think your prices, your asking price may be a bit too high. Or even if you're serving a buyer, I think your offer is a bit too low for whatever reason. Okay, so over here, what you can do when you show them the pricing, start to ask your client some qualifying questions. So after you show them this, you can also ask them things like, Mr. Seller, are you in an urgency to sell or not? Because so what happens is, if you have a client that is serious about selling, chances are there must be a reason why they want to sell, right? Oh, I want to upgrade, I want to downgrade, I'm moving in with my daughter, she just bought a house, oh, I need the money for my business, or whatever reason. Okay, so if they are able to provide a reason for selling, okay, it would be much easier for you to convince them to price according to what is shown here. Okay, on the other hand, of course, you may also come across buyers or sellers who say that, never mind lah, you just help me advertise first lah, then we see how it goes, that kind of thing. If they are not able to provide a particular reason why they want to sell, chances are they may not be that ready, I would say. Okay, they may not be ready, and therefore they came up with this 1,005 kind of pricing. So if you do come across clients who are not ready, okay, this may not be the best time for you to help them to market. Okay, because if, let's say, you start to market at 1,005, you will still get viewings, people will still come and view. Okay, however, you are helping all the other 16 people sell their units. Okay, you'll be opening up, show flat, close, open, close, all the viewings, but chances are people will not buy because the price is way above the average asking price. Okay, however, even if you do come across a buyer who really loves the house and offer 1,005, you might also come across or your seller might eventually cancel or choose not to sell the unit because they are not ready yet. Okay, so if let's say they plug the number from the sky at 1,005 and they think that it's going to sell, you help to advertise. Very early you get a buyer, they would think that, oh, I think 1,005 is too low, I need to price even higher. is not a good price, and then you will ding dong, never sell. Okay, so my recommendation is target those that have a true reason for selling, and it will be easier for you to sell. Okay, easier for you to convince them to price more reasonably. And for those who are not able to give you a reason to sell, or they are not willing to lower the price, put them in your back pocket. Got time, then you show. Okay, because if you should actually prioritize your clients according to how serious or how ready they are. Okay, sometimes you shouldn't be putting in effort into a client that might not be ready yet lah. Okay, so this is one. You may also use pricer. Maybe let's say I'm serving a buyer, okay, and my buyer says I want to buy Coven Melody, and I heard from my friend that he bought a unit at 900 plus per square foot already only, okay, and maybe he came to see your unit, which is a average unit at 1,001 plus, okay, so you can actually show them pricer as well and say that, oh, I think you are referring to this unit that was sold within the last 1 year at 965. Oh, but this unit is a second floor, and the size 1873, there's a very big patio in front, maybe, okay? So, of course, please do your homework first. If you do come across a buyer, do check what have been the recent prices, what are any low prices. So when you show the chart to your client, or before you even mouse over that particular transaction, you should already know that it's a second floor, okay? Rather than you find a very good deal unit, maybe it was a fire sale, and then it will be harder for you to counter the question by your client, okay? So this is something you can do. So like I mentioned, it is very important for pricer that you must have transactions, okay, before it would be reasonable for you to explain to your client that they should be pricing around this range, okay. However, so that is why sometimes it may make sense to add in more than one project, especially if a project doesn't have enough transactions. You may want to add in maybe one more or two more, which are, of course, must be as similar as possible lah. Okay, so maybe Coven Melody I can compare with Coven Residences. Okay, so I have somebody asking about the HDB flat comparison. I can do that. Okay, so let's say I click on HDB here. Okay, so the thing about HDB, especially in the resale, the market is rather slow. So unless the particular block that you are marketing, okay, that you are pricing is very popular with lots of transactions, high chances you will come across something like that. Let me show you. Okay, so let's say it's just this block in Sengkang West, and I click refresh. So do take note, for HDB, it will be in per square meter instead of per square feet. Of course, you can choose to put it as quantum as well, okay, in a quantum basis. So you will notice in this case, there were two transactions, one over here and one over here. But what happened is that my three lines, my minimum, average, and maximum, has been combined into one because the per square foot is about the same. So you notice that in terms of, there's no more range in between that allows you to help your client make a decision, because the range is 4037, okay, 4037 to 4080 per square meter, okay. You can also, if let's say you're not so comfortable with per square meter, you can also toggle to quantum and click on refresh pricer, okay. So this is what happens in terms of quantum. Yeah, I have two dots only lah, so you can see one is at 460 and one is at 387. Okay, so chances are this wouldn't be very useful when you are helping your client price their property. So my recommendation is to add in more than one. So of course, try and add in as similar as possible. If they are within the same cluster or within the same BTO project, even better. Okay, so let's say I will add in 413B. Okay, and then I'll delete this one, 412B. Okay, and 412A. Okay, so over here I have 4 blocks, 413A and B, 412A and B. These 4 blocks, if you are familiar, they are connected by the same multi-story car park, and they are all from the same BTO project. Okay, so it would be better to compare these 4 as compared to maybe across the road, maybe one is a different age. Okay, so try and compare HDBs within the same age. Okay, and here you go. So just now, if I had only put in 413A, you probably don't see, there isn't much information because there's only 2 transactions that happen. But when you add in more, at least over here we have 10 transactions, okay? And you can see how the range goes and how the average price is at 423,000, okay? So of course, if there's more units, you can always further filter by unit size, story or stack, and this would further confirm the price for that particular unit that you are marketing. Okay, so you can add in more than one project or more than one block per se. So the same thing goes for the other property types as well. Okay, one of the situations, you can also use Pricer to help your client in a way. Okay, let's say you want to know the pricing for a certain size. Okay, so let's say example, okay, let's say I put in a river gate. Okay, and then I add in. Okay, so maybe I want, let's say 1,000 to 1,005 square feet. Okay, and I'm looking at 10 to 15 floor. So we don't want all the low floors or all the smaller units to come inside. Okay, you can even put in the stack, okay, and then you refresh. So in this case, don't have. See, so this is what happens if there isn't enough transactions. This may not be as useful, but if there are, then it would be very useful. Okay, let's say I put 5 to 15 lah, Okay, don't have. What about bigger size? 2,000. Okay, I'm not very familiar with river gate sizing lah. Okay, so don't have. So this is what happens when you filter and there isn't any unit transactions that fall under this category. Okay, or you can also add in the years. If let's say you are zooming, if you filter the size, story and stack, you can actually try and add in the time period, and that can also help you to get some transactions. So I think for this one, maybe my sizing is wrong, so there isn't any units per se. Okay, let me just put in one lah. Okay, so seems like unit size is correct, but no unit transaction for 5th to 15th floor. Are these all mostly higher floor? Okay, so you notice, all the higher floors are the ones that are transacted, so you can also actually deduce it from here as well. Okay, now I think I am pretty much done with this. I will proceed to Q&A because I see quite a number of questions here. For those of you who do not have questions, okay, do join us for our quiz at menti.sg. Okay, so you need to key in, go to menti.com and use the code 182632. So meanwhile, I will answer the questions in the Q&A. Okay, Okay, so a lister has been answered already. Yijie, is it possible to extract the graph? Yijie, it is not possible to extract the graph because this is more of a interactive program. Okay, so if let's say you want to, it will be a screenshot. and maybe you would want to mouse over one of the dots to show your client. Okay, but usually we recommend using Pricer Live because you will be able to show straight away, mouse over here and there, what are some of the things. Okay, if not, you screenshot what you want to show first lah. Doreen, okay, can show an example of commercial unit like Fortune Center. Okay, Fortune Center, let me just take a look. Okay, let me close this. Okay, so I've got a request from Doreen. She wants to look at Fortune Center. Okay, I'm not very familiar with this project. Is it TRE? Okay. So I have Fortune Center. I don't know whether there are any recent transactions. Let's just look at last 1 year first. Okay, so in the last 1 year, there are 3 transactions and they are all on the lower end. 2 on the lower end on 18th floor and 18th floor, both on 18th floor. Different sizes, but per square foot, quite close. And there is one that is on the first floor. So you notice that because for retail, I'm assuming this is retail, on the first floor, the per square foot is a lot higher, right? Plus, this is a small unit for 248 square feet. On the top, the other 2 units, okay, this one, maybe it is not a shop. These 2 might be offices. Okay, so therefore, if let's say you want to toggle to certain things only, let's say I take out, shop. Let's see whether is that 2 offices or not. Okay, did I click refresh? Okay, so seems like they are all different, quite similar. Should be office and shop lah. I assume this is still a shop. Okay, so this is Fortune Center. Thomas, what is the 35% off and 15% off Pro Tools? Okay, Sherry answered already. Okay, let's move on to the quiz now. Okay, if you are not with us yet right now, please go to menti.com and key in 182632. So you should be on my screen right now. You should have an icon, a nickname, and before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that the top 5 winners would walk away with a reusable cutlery set worth $12.90. So remember, after you have won, okay, if you are the top 5, please take a screenshot of your own screen with your icon and with your nickname, okay, and send it to us. We will put the number for you to send to in the live chat, okay? Janet, we are not able to compare by distance. No. For Pricer, you can only key in the address at the moment. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get started now. Oh, one more question. Sorry, I am unable to find the Pricer button on EdgeProp. You need to mouse over Tools. Okay. Let me just show you our Tools. Let me zoom out. Tools, and Pricer is over here. Gabriel, okay, can you see? Pricer. Okay, so I'll move on to the quiz now. Let's get started. 5 questions. If you are correct and you are faster, you also get more points. Okay, so can you remember for HDB, can I use street name? Is it only street name? Yeah. So I went through the different property types, right? Some street name, some project name. So which one? Okay, so seems like half-half. For HDB, you can only key in by street name, okay? So street name, and then of course, please also include the block number, Okay, some of you might actually ask, oh, what about those like DBSS or Pinnacle at Duxton? Please don't key in Pinnacle at Duxton. Key in the address. I can't remember, maybe 1 Cantonment Road, something like that. Okay, put in the block and the street rather than the project name. Okay, for HDB. Okay, let's see who is leading right now. We have JY, which is the penguin, Frosty, TA, Funny, and Top Hat. You are the top 5 at the moment. There is still chance to overthrow them if you haven't done that. Oh, somebody is faster than me already. Okay, the system jumped already. Which of the following is not a search filter? I have not mentioned finishing. The rest of it, actually, you can filter by what kind of prices you want to see, the unit size, story, and stack. All those are correct. Only furnishing is not inside. Okay, so let's see who is leading right now. Is there a mistake here? Why is there only a William who got the points? Okay, let's see. Next question. I can add more than one property type. Yes, true. Most people got this right. Okay, we have William, Zhen Hao, Striker, AE, and Robot. And this is maximum number. Okay, so at any point in time, the maximum number of people you can see is 100 transactions. Sorry guys, I think there might be something wrong with the Mentimeter because the names look familiar from last time and I'm seeing some of the results coming out. I'm not sure if you guys are facing any issue. Let me know, okay? What is the color of the line that you can add? It is green color for those of you who are not aware. So you need to tap on the chart and it will draw a green line across. No questions to answer. Did something go wrong? Okay, let me redo. 我觉得 somewhere gone wrong 了。Okay, what happened? Okay, sorry guys, let's do it again. If you did take note of whatever went through just now, you might be able to get better results this time around, okay? Yeah, so street name can be only used for HDB. Yeah, I think there was some error just now. So we redo the questions, 5 questions, okay? So if you got it wrong just now, you should get it right this time. Okay, so we have Fishy, TA, Jess, Happy, Kaylin. Okay. Next question. Which of the following is not a search filter in Pricer? Can you remember? Serene, you try and refresh the page again. It should show up now because I restarted the quiz again. Okay, I think I have more people here now. So it is furnishing. We don't know how the unit looks like in terms of furnishing. So we still have Fishy, Jess, and then some changes. We have Finn, Sue, and JC. Yeah. Oh, cannot continue already. Never mind. Just look at my screen and see if you know the answer, okay? So can you add more than one property into Pricer? repeated in the end, the question. Okay, can you add more than one property into pricer? Answer is true. So up to 10, maximum 10 at one time. Okay, and then we have Fishy still on the top, followed by Finn, Sue, JC, and TA. Okay, maximum number of transactions at one point in time. Okay, do you remember? There's actually a little disclaimer at the bottom of pricer. That is your answer key. Okay, so regardless of the time period that you select, the maximum number of transactions at one point in time is 100. Okay, 100 for each project. Okay, so most of you got this right. Very good. Okay, I think some changes to the leaderboard now. We have Finn, Sue, Fishy, Happy, and Edwin. Okay, next question. What is the color of the line that you can add to show the position of your client's price? So you can tap on the chart to add one more line. Okay, so what is that color of the line that you can add? Okay, green color, well done. Most of you got this right. Okay, we have Finn still on the top. Edwin, Steven, Jess, and Sue. Okay, Finn, Edwin, Steven Lam, Jess, and Sue, the 5 of you, congratulations, you have won yourself a reusable cutlery set. So do send us your screenshot of your name, logo, and your icon and your points. Send it to us so that we can arrange to mail you the prize that you have won. Okay. For the rest of you guys, apologies, I understand there was some error just now. I hope you guys were still able to follow the questions and at least double confirm whether you remember what we have gone through today. Okay, so for the rest of you, thank you, or should I say all of you, thank you for joining us today. If you have more questions, you may check with your account manager, so do take down their contact details, very important. And also, maybe I just flash the promo one more time. I think just now somebody was asking about it. Okay, so this is the promo. Let me just shift my picture away. Okay, so Pro Tools and Prop Points, this is our sort of GSS promotion for the month of June. Okay, so if you are if you like to find out more, check with your account managers. And thank you so much for joining us for today's training. Okay, hope you learned something or two today. And remember to subscribe and like our video. We will see you tomorrow. We have another training tomorrow at the same time, 2:30. Okay, same time, same YouTube. Okay, but you need the link. Okay, so remember to register if you haven't done so. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.